Ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Philadelphia. Start clapping right now. Let's go. Give me a nice big round of applause for Tom Cassidy, everybody!
Hey, everybody. How's everyone doing? That was pretty good, but I know we can do better than that. Friday night, New York City. How's everybody doing? Let's get real loud. That was way better. Thank you so much. What I did there is an old trick in comedy. It's where you ask a question twice, and the second time you ask with more emphasis because you didn't like the response you got the first time. Always works in comedy, never works in real life. Like, I can't go up to my buddy like, hey, Mike, how you doing? Well, Tom, I'm actually not doing too good. My mom is in the hospital, and my father can't afford to keep her there. Mike, I don't think you heard me. I said, how are you doing, Mike? It's Friday night in New York City. Fuck your sick mother. For anybody who feels bad, you do not have to. They are two fictitious characters in my opening joke, so it's okay. I don't think it's what you say anyway, man. I think it's how you say it. Like, I was on the elevator, and this lady was trying to get by me, and she went like this. She was like, excuse me, meaning like I was in her way, which I just think is interesting, because if she was like, excuse me, she would have been in my way. It's all about tone, man. Excuse me means so many different things. Like, excuse me? You didn't hear what they said. Or like, excuse me? You heard what they said, but you can't believe they said it. Or like, excuse me? Meaning you don't understand what they said because you speak Spanish. Speaking of Spanish-speaking people, I was on the train recently, and there was a mariachi band playing, right? And there was this guy on the train who, like, visibly hated this mariachi band. So while they were playing, he was just, like, yelling at them. So they were like, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. And he was like, get off the train. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Nobody wants to hear this shit. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-da. And the mariachi man just ignored him and kept playing, and everybody on the train was getting really nervous, and the guy took out his phone and started like live streaming, yelling at them. So they were like, ba-da-da-da. He's like, shut up! Da-da-da-da. You fucking suck! Da-da-da-da. I hate y'all! Da-da-da-da-da. And the song ended, right? And the guy put his face in his hands, and he started cursing to himself. And the mariachi band started collecting money. And the one guitarist crept up to the dude real slow, right? He put the guitar right by the dude's ear, and he went, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. And you could hear a pin drop on this train, man. And the guy took his face from his hands. He looked up at the guitarist, and he didn't do anything. And it just made me think, man, like, a lot of people talk shit in real life, and a lot of people talk shit online, but when it really comes down to it, and you got three Mexican dudes standing over you with blunt objects, you're probably not gonna do shit. I also learned a lot about myself because I was with my girlfriend on the train while this was all happening, and I was just like, we might have to transfer early. I love living here in New York City, though, man. I've been here for a while. One of my best friends is gay because they give you one when you move here. It's true, there's a lot of them. It's like a homosexual exchange program. He was just waiting for me when I got out of the U-Haul, like, hey. I was watching the news with him the other day, and one of those sexual harassment stories was on, and I was just like, man, men cannot control their penises. And he was like, thank God. So it's all about perspective, everybody. He actually got me a job when I first moved here, working on Broadway, and I worked with a lot of gay fellas, and I got sexually harassed at my job by gay men constantly, because, I mean, come on. And I don't know if you can tell with this hoodie on, but this body is gay man du jour, everybody. Okay? This was a couple of years ago, too. I was leaner. I had the body of a European female model, and those gays couldn't get enough. But something I learned about that situation is that no one cares when a gay man sexually harasses a straight man. No one gives a shit. Like, when I used to try to complain about it, I would literally be treated like a secretary from the 50s. I would get a lot of like, hey, relax, sweetheart, maybe don't dress so cute. To be fair, ever since I stopped wearing that red top and relaxed, things went way better, so. This one dude from my job, he used to sexually harass me constantly, man. He was like really big and muscular. He had long blonde hair. He looked like gay Thor. His hammer was his penis. And my ass was his endgame. But he was he was just groping me one day, right? Just to like mess with me. And I just took it because I'm not a chick. And I got a sense of humor about this type of thing. I'm kidding, ladies. I got fed up, and I was like, after a while, I was like, yo, stop, man. He was bigger than me, so I was more like, yo, stop, man. And then he just kept doing it, and then one of my other coworkers came around who's this really good-looking Australian guy, and gay Thor started ignoring me and started sexually harassing my coworker. I'm not gonna lie, it made me a little jealous. Like, I don't want to be sexually assaulted, but I also want to be appreciated. Ladies, am I right? Hey, come on. We're having fun. I'm from Philadelphia, and people are... Thank you, one person. People where I'm from take sports very seriously, and that happens everywhere, but where I'm from, people take sports, like, more serious than they take their life. Like, we won the Super Bowl a couple years ago, and I ran into my friend that season before we won, and he was getting real worked up. He was like, man, the Eagles better be good this year. They haven't made it to the playoffs since 2013. I'm tired of it. I was like, yeah, man, that's true, but you're also a roofer who's been addicted to Percocets for the past 5 years. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, if you were a football team, you wouldn't be doing too good either. You certainly wouldn't have made the playoffs. Again, life is all about perspective. When people don't laugh at that joke, I just assume it's because they're addicted to Percocets. And it's hitting too close to home. Because structurally, the joke works, everybody. Listen, I take I take Adderall sometimes just to help me get stuff done. If you've never taken Adderall before, like, if you have to, like, read a book, take an Adderall. It's like you're inside of the book, and you're having, like, really nice eye-to-eye consensual sex with the letter B. If you're a girl, it's like you're having sex with the letter J. It hooks and it hits the right spot. If you're a gay guy, it's like you're having sex with the capital letter J. If you're a lesbian, it's like you're having sex with the letter B again, but it has a short haircut and is inside of a liberal arts textbook. It's a very visual part of the joke, so it's okay if you didn't laugh at that. My friend gave me an Adderall recently, and I put it in, you know the little pocket above your pocket where you put drugs? The drug pocket, if you will. Someone at a show once said that's where he puts his condoms. I was like, you got a small dick, man. Shut up. What's he, folding it up 4 times? It's like a trampoline coming out of that thing. But my friend gave me an Adderall, right? I put it in that pocket, forgot I had it in there, and then I did my laundry. That's who you can tell who's addicted to Adderall. But yeah, man, now my jeans are just focused as shit. Hopped out of the dryer, folded themselves, everybody. I'm trying to get my life together, man. I just started working out. I'm on day 19 of working out. You were all right not to applaud. No, I was being sincere. Like, I don't think you should mention working out until like 3 months in. you should treat it like a pregnancy. Because like you're not showing yet. Something might go wrong. You might just want to quit. Unless you live in Alabama and then they just force you to keep working out. Even though you don't want to work out anymore. So then like 9 months later, you just have these muscles you never even wanted in the first place. 14 or 15 years later, those biceps go looking for love in all the wrong places. Get hooked up with the wrong crew, start shooting up liquor stores at gunpoint. They, of course, have muscles they don't want. Flash forward another 13 or 14 years, and your granddaughter Triceps is a webcam girl turned prostitute who lets people do unspeakable things to her because her definition of shooting up a liquor store is tying off in the bathroom. And on it goes. But yeah, I'm trying to get into better shape. And I started working out because I was recently having sex with my girlfriend. Give it to me, baby. Don't leave me hanging. And we have a mirror in our room, right? And while it was happening, I looked at my reflection in the mirror, and I zeroed in on my arm. And in that moment, my arm looked so small that it made me lose my erection. So I'm basically working out, like my goal body weight is to be able to have sex, look at myself in the mirror, and stay hard. I told my friend I was working out, he's in really good shape and stuff. He was like, don't forget to work the legs. I was like, forget that, the mirror's waist high. It's a visual joke, everybody. There's a time and a place for everything, though. Like, you can't be sarcastic during sex. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman either, man. That's a mood killer. Like, you want this? Yeah. Please keep going. It's so big. Oh. That's why I think when you talk during sex, one-syllable words are the best, because sex is so primal. Like, you like that? Oh my God. My personal favorite, ugh. That might be 2 syllables, but listen. Too many syllables never sounds right. Like, this is phenomenal. I'm about to ejaculate. I told that joke once, and there's an older black lady in the crowd, and at the end of the joke, she went like this. She went, mm-mm, mm-mm-mm. And it made me think, like, what if that is the sound I made after I finished? Like, huh, 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 mm-mm, mm-mm-mm. I'm crazy because my family's crazy, man. Like, I'm gonna tell you a story about my parents. All you need to know is that they're crazy. That's it. Okay. It was a week before Christmas a few years ago, and me and my dad were at my sister's house because my sister was getting a new carpet, right? So me and my dad were tearing up my sister's old carpet. And in the process of doing that, my dad cut his finger. And when my dad cut his finger, he started screaming, I cut my fucking finger off. I cut my fucking finger off. My mom was there, and she started screaming and crying. She's like, let me see your finger. Let me see your finger. Which made my dad go from I cut my fucking finger off to say, shut the fuck up, Jeannie. Yeah, guys, shit just got real. So back and forth they go for like 5 minutes. Let me see your finger. Shut the fuck up, Jeannie. Until my dad got his finger to stop bleeding, and my mom shut the fuck up. The point of this story is... the cut wasn't that bad, right? So me and my dad ended up cutting up the carpet, ripping it up, rolling it up into separate pieces. We take the first piece outside. When we get outside, I noticed that my sister's next door neighbor was outside the entire time putting up Christmas decorations. During a man screaming, then a man screaming at a crying woman, then 20 minutes of silence, and then 2 men carrying out a bloody, rolled up rug. My dad's such a lunatic, he doesn't even skip a beat. He goes to the next door neighbor. He's like, hey, your decorations look pretty good, and walks inside. So then I go up to the next door neighbor. I walk up real slow to him. I look at him dead in the eye and I say, she should have shut the fuck up. So a few days after that, right, my mom started getting really into Facebook, and she started friending people from my grade school. And this one kid from my grade school was named Sean McManus. On December 23rd, he wrote, "It's Christmas Eve. Awesome." With like 60 E's. This kid's like 30 years old, super excited for Christmas Eve. Anyway, my mom likes his status, right? And then things get really weird. She writes on his wall, "Have you been a good boy this year, Sean?" Then he writes back, "Oh, I don't know, Mrs. Cassidy. It's going to be close. I guess I'll find out tomorrow morning when I sneak downstairs and see if Santa came." And then she wrote back, "I'll cross my fingers for you." And then I wrote, "Shut the fuck up, Jeannie." From that previous joke. I live with my girlfriend. I like it a lot. I got home late the other night, and she was asleep, but her laptop was open, and there was like a Netflix show going on. Because when I'm not home, she likes to fall asleep to something on her laptop. Makes sense. When we're both home, though, she doesn't like it when I watch something on the laptop to help me fall asleep. Because when we're both home, she likes to fall asleep to me laying awake in a dark room. My discomfort is this woman's white noise machine. It's like waves crashing on a beach to her. I do like living with her, though. I think if you like living with your significant other, it's like living in the best and most comfortable prison in the world. And I'm not saying that in a negative way. It's a great prison, man. Like, I can have pre-approved visitors. I can leave sometimes. My biggest issue in the shower is when she clogs the drain, and compared to other prisons, that's nothing. Speaking of that, we can all obviously agree here that rape is wrong. Except for when rapists get raped in prison. Some people are cool with that, like it's like a form of punishment. My only question is like, what crime did the rapist who's raping the rapist do to be good enough at rape to be able to rape a rapist? I'm just saying, you gotta wake up pretty early in the morning, man. Rapists who rape rapists are the best rapists. Meaning they're the best at raping. They're obviously terrible people. And it seems like we're rewarding them for that, man. And then I think, like, do you think, like, the rapist who's getting raped in prison feels empathy at all? Like, man, this sucks. I was such a dick. It's almost like I deserve to be raped right now. But wait a minute, this guy behind me deserves to be raped too. But then when does it end, you know? I was abused, so I then abused, and now I'm back to being abused again? Life is one endless cycle of, oh man, he just came in my butt. And he went, Listen, I get people are sensitive about that joke. My point is, rape is always wrong. And that's why we should murder all of the rapists. But then maybe sometimes we don't know about, like when the bees die, like we murder all the rapists and like the honey disappears. So maybe just to be safe, we should murder all the rapists and rape all of the murderers. Maybe that's the answer. But yeah, living with my girlfriend's cool. I'm glad I'm not single anymore. This happened to me a lot when I was at the bar. It would be like late at night at the bar on the weekend. I'd be having fun with like a woman. We'd be talking and hanging out for like a half an hour. And then she'd be like, I'm married. Like, lady, what are you doing here? Like, the bar late at night on the weekend is single people time. If you're alone without your significant other, fucking beat it, man. Single people have enough to worry about. At the time, I was a plain-looking white man with my best button-up on. I had to compete against a million other plain-looking white men with their best button-up on. Plus, this is New York City. I had to compete against cool lesbians with spiky hair, androgynous DJs, various in-shape minorities. I had a lot going on. On top of all of that, I didn't also need married people out there having fun. Gumming up the works playing pretend time. Single people don't show up at married people's houses at like 6:30 p.m. on a Wednesday. Try to eat your chicken Florentine and steal your children's love. You want to know why? That's married people time. And you got to respect time. You got it. Thank you. You got to respect everything at this point, man. I get it. Like, there's a lot going on, but sometimes I feel like people are just sensitive to be sensitive. Like, I saw a billboard, and it was like 8 guys around my age. They were all holding up pictures of themselves as babies, and the guys were all, like, really sad holding the pictures. And at the bottom of the billboard, it said this. It said, circumcision. I did not give consent. So just so we're all on the same page, these grown men are complaining about being circumcised as babies. First of all, give me a fucking break. Second of all, I'm circumcised. I didn't give consent. I'm glad for it, okay? That's not a question I'm trying to have to answer. I don't want my mom sauntering into my room when I'm 12 like, hey, Tommy, do you want us to cut off a piece of your penis? I'm gonna say no. Treat a circumcision like a mob hit, man. I don't want to see it coming like it's a scene from The Godfather. Treat my foreskin like it's Mo Green getting a back rub. Bullet through the eye. Treat my foreskin like it was smacking Fredo around for banging cocktail waitresses 2 at a time. To be fair, if you didn't laugh at the first Godfather reference, you weren't gonna laugh at the second. That's just how that joke works. But I understand why circumcision exists, though. Like, I look at it through my selfish eyes. If I ever have a son, I want my son to have the same kind of penis as me. I don't want my son rolling around with a different model of penis. Guys, that's stepson shit. And I won't have it in my household. And I'll tell you this much, if I ever do have a stepson and he's uncircumcised, I'm gonna make him circumcise it. You wanna know why? I'm your new daddy. That other guy's named Rick from now on. I love comedy, man. My favorite comedian of all time is Bernie Mac. Rest in peace to Bernie Mac. So smart, so cool, so funny. Sometimes I wish I could just have Bernie Mac's voice in situations in my relationship. Like, I went to a concert with my girlfriend recently, and she was dressed kind of silly. She had this green glittery jacket on and these earrings that were ugly as shit. They were like cat eye earrings. So like all night, these cat eyes were staring at me at this concert. And after a while, I was just like, hey, your earrings are a little ridiculous. And she was like, but they match the jacket. And in Bernie Mac's voice, I just wanted to be like, then burn the motherfucking jacket. Burn the jacket, bitch. Doesn't sound right when I say it. Burn the jacket, lady. Because that's how white people sound. I'll leave on this. I have a lot of black friends, and they're all still alive. Nice try, police. To be fair, I have some white friends who are dead. Well played, Depression. Really makes you think, you know, if these cops started shooting white people a little bit more, maybe it would take their mind off of wanting to kill themselves. That's just food for thought, everybody. Listen, I just understand why black people don't kill themselves as much as white people. It's because they're cooler than white people. it's hard to kill yourself when you're cool, baby. Like, Tupac had that line in one of his songs. When I held that 9, all I could see was my mama's eyes. Eminem's like, I hate you, Mom. I'm cleaning out my closet now. Where's my snare? The point of that joke is loving your mom is cool. Shout out to Jeannie. My name's Tom Cassidy. Thank you.